So Fernando, what do you make of this Austrian army then?
Of all the armies in the Duty and Glory book, Philip, this is definitely one of them. The army has horse, it has some foot, and it has some guns, and there is a good mix of extras as well.
That sounds like a ringing endorsement, Fernando. Where should we start with such a beast then? The compulsory horse are determined, and they are average and armored. The optional ones are much the same. Is that any good?
I am frankly struggling to stay awake long enough to even express an opinion on those horse. One has to say that in a book chock full of average horse, these horse are incredibly, well, average.
What about the foot then?
They have a unique quality to them. That quality being that they are the same as most of the foot in the Wars of Religion book, 4+2 average unarmored pike and shot. Later in the period they become equally dull 5+1 style units. I admit you can get 2 units with sword and musket, but this is hardly enough to build a world-conquering plan on, is it? I must admit that the regimental guns are nice, but they are hardly unique either.
What about the extra toys? Are there any really cool unusual troop types to raise this army from the terminally mundane?
I can't really think of any. I suppose carbine-armed determined horse are unusual, but that is unusual in a not very good at all sort of way. Lots of foot with musket and bayonet in the later list, but all boringly average. You end up with an army that is pretty bland in terms of its foot, and pretty poor with its horse.
Is there an argument for a different army then?
I'd be tempted to take any other army really, as this has nothing to recommend it other than its incredible blandness. Perhaps there is a tactic that involves boring your opponent to death, or battering them into submission with large amounts of substandard horse perhaps.
Okay, I understand. A good analysis. I hope that this has been useful, and tune in again soon for more in-depth army analysis from me, Philip, and him, Fernando.